Hey everybody, this is Elise from Camp Aska, and you're listening to Camp Aska, the podcast, the show that dives into all things Aska and the people that make camp the incredible place it is. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with what's happening here at camp. That's at Camp Aska, CampAscca.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Matt Rickman with Camp Aska, and welcome to the Camp Aska podcast. Today, we've got a great show for you. We'll be talking to Trish Robinson. Trish is the Regional Program Manager with Down Syndrome of Alabama, also known as DSA. Her area covers the Montgomery River region area and Auburn, Opelika communities. So welcome, Trish. Glad to have you today.
Thanks for having me.
Basically, Trish, we want to learn a little bit about you personally, as well as some more about the Down Syndrome of Alabama. If you don't mind, if we'll just start off, if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe where you're from or where you went to school, anything like that.
Okay. Well, I actually grew up in Michigan. That's where all of my family is. But then I met and married an Alabama boy. So I ended up down here in the South. Been down here for about 32 years now. So I would say I'm now a Southerner.
You'll say you're officially one of us.
I am. Yes, definitely. So as far as education, really didn't have any formal education, but I have been blessed to be put in some places where I've been able to be very effective in different areas, and I've just been blessed.
Awesome. So Michigan to Alabama, I bet that was a bit of a culture shock at the time.
Yes, definitely was.
Good deal. And I guess some of those situations you've been in, that's led you to the Down Syndrome of Alabama. Yeah, what's kind of been your path? What are some of the things you've done for the past 32 years here at Auburn?
Yeah. Well, previously I've always been in mainly like the spa chiropractic industry. That was kind of my niche. Really, really enjoyed it, especially from the therapeutic side of things. Always been on the administrative side of things, not actually hands-on, but it's just an industry that I've really enjoyed. And but then all of that changed drastically with two things. One, the birth of our son, who is now 5 and has Down syndrome. And second was, of course, COVID. COVID really changed my career path in a quick way, I would say.
And so, and what's your son's name?
So Joseph. Yep. Joseph is 5 years old. He was an empty nest surprise blessing. So there is a 20-year gap in our children.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I bet that was definitely an interesting surprise.
Very much so. Yes. So we have daughters who are 28 and 25, both married. We currently have one grandson who's about to turn a year old, and then we have another grandson expecting in August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your daughters, are they located in the South?
They are. One lives in Alabaster, and the other one is in Trussville.
Okay. So they get to see their brother from time to time. I'm sure they don't.
Yes.
No.
Oh no, they've never spoiled him. Not at all. No.
Awesome. I guess if you could just tell me, obviously your son Joseph having Down syndrome, I'm assuming is kind of how you got tied in with Down syndrome of Alabama. But if you could maybe take me on that path.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we found out that we were pregnant, and then we found out that we were having a child with Down syndrome, we kind of took to the internet. Just trying to figure out what is out there, trying to learn as much as we can, what local support there was. Of course, we came across at the time was the Montgomery area Down syndrome outreach group, which was local here. Got connected with them and just kind of got involved in the things that they were doing there. I also got involved in a national organization called Down Syndrome Diagnosis Network. And so just kind of started volunteering for both organizations on different levels. With the area group, I joined the board probably when Joseph was a year old. And then in, January of 2020, I became the president of the group. And rest has kind of been a whirlwind, if you can imagine, with with all things 2020 and all that what took place. But that just is kind of how I got involved and started with everything. And with our area group, we, doing all the things that we can to support the river region families with Down syndrome, and, having age appropriate activities for the kids. And then also, large family events, fundraisers, all those things.
Sounds like you were very, very proactive. Joseph is very blessed to have you as his mom, I'm certain.
Yes.
Yeah. So for anybody listening that maybe has a child with Down syndrome or family member or anything like that, I guess maybe tell me the specific mission and maybe what are, I know we talked about you being in the Montgomery, kind of Auburn, Opelika area.
Mhm.
Any other affiliates throughout the state?
Yeah. So just a little background with the Montgomery area. So September of last year, we merged with Down Syndrome Alabama and became a satellite with them. And so we are now known as Down Syndrome River Region. We pretty much service about the 9 surrounding counties here in the area. When that took place, I actually applied for a position with Down Syndrome Alabama. They were looking for the program manager. And so I submitted my resume and had some interviews and was been fortunate enough to be hired with them as of November of last year, and just been going strong ever since. So with that, Down Syndrome Alabama, the mission is basically we are dedicated to supporting individuals with Down syndrome, their families, and their communities throughout Alabama. And we do that with basically 3 pillars by promoting advocacy, connections, and education.
Also, I know in the past, kind of a connection with Camp Aska, that your organizations, provided financial support for some of our campers to be able to come to camp for a week.
Yes.
So we appreciate that relationship as well. Um, I also know that I know you met with our program director Amber Cotney a couple
Yes.
ago, and we're very, very excited about the possibility that we may be able to host a weekend with you guys, possibly in 2025.
Yes, we're very excited about that. We are actually working on to see what we can do all that, and we'll plan on making some of those big announcements um, around March of next year.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, we're very excited. I guess if someone was listening that had a family member with Down syndrome, uh, what would you kind of tell? I know you mentioned how you got started immediately and you guys were researching. I guess what's the best path if say I was in that situation and trying to connect with you guys or any other organization?
Yeah, well, obviously, we meet a lot of families we try to provide new parent bags or gifts at the hospitals in the region specifically that we are servicing right now. So when they do have a birth in the hospital, they're giving information regarding who we are as Down Syndrome Alabama. And we're actually in the process of updating those bags with even more information of how they can get connected with all different kinds of resources, whether it's local or nationwide, to help support them and their child. So that is kind of a first connection that we hope that is happening. The other is some families learn about us, of course, from the internet or word of mouth. They can just reach out to us, through the contact form on our website. And Missy Hawkery, who is our executive director, she reaches out to them and, welcomes them to the community and kind of gives them a little bit of information about who we are and, kind of find out what area they're from and start that connections to get them involved with, somebody local, maybe a peer-to-peer mentor or, let them know about an upcoming event or, whatever is actually the best for that family at that moment.
And what is that website again?
It is, let me say, I don't want to say it wrong. It is, yes, it's downsyndromealabama.org.
.org. Awesome. And if you don't mind, I can talk to Elise after we post this podcast. We'd be happy to put that link on our website as well.
Sure.
To
Absolutely.
families that we serve. We're always looking to offer them other things besides Camp Aska. Well, great. I guess back to a little personal stuff and maybe Joseph and I guess he's 5 years old. I'm sure he's a handful. What have been kind of your if you don't mind sharing, kind of your favorite moments as a mom with Joseph and maybe your family or anything like that?
Sure. And well, with Down syndrome, you never know when a child is born what kind of extra medical things they're going to have. It can be a wide range or it could be, pretty much nothing. And we've been very blessed on the medical side of things. Joseph does have congenital heart disease. He was born with two holes in his heart and a cleft mitral valve, which again is one of the most common things with a child born with Down syndrome. We've been blessed as he has not had to have open heart surgery yet. We know that it's going to be in his future, but so far, it's not been needed. And other than that, physically and health wise, he's been pretty good. He's had the usual delays in development, and in speech delays, cognitive delays, and physical delays, and all of those been addressed, of course, with all the therapies. So I guess as a mom, the greatest thing for me is to see him reach all the milestones. I'm sure they have been delayed. For instance, he wasn't sitting up well until he was 18 months old. He never really crawled. He kind of did a butt scoot. But to see him start to get mobile and to be able to sit up on his own and then eventually walking independently at 3 years old, I mean, those are just fantastic milestones. And as a mom, it just makes you so happy and proud to see that reached. And just because how hard that he has worked and then you have reached or worked to, be able to provide him with all of the necessary, support and therapies and the things you're doing at home all the time. So for me, again, the milestones have been the greatest thing.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with us and with our audience. I know when we're able to host family camps, whether it be Autism Society or, like I said, hopefully in the future with you guys or any other organization, I think that's one of the huge benefits that comes out is just those parents, kind of sharing the stories like you just shared.
Mhm.
And just knowing that, hey, I'm not alone in this, and that other families are going through the same thing. So I just think it's awesome what your organization's doing to help all these families out there, and I'm very very proud that we're getting to interact and hopefully work together in the future. Dana also told me that we found out that you're also on the side. Are you a travel agent? Is that correct?
Yes, I am actually. After 2020, and I stopped working in the spa industry, and having Joseph, our family has always loved to travel, and we didn't want to stop traveling just because we had Joseph. So I wanted to learn how to do it and how to do it well with Joseph. And so I just started doing all kinds of research and things. And we happened to be on a cruise, my husband and myself and Joseph, and we were seated next to a mom and her two daughters. And she happened to be a travel agency owner here in Alabama. And it's crazy enough, we find out that we knew a lot of the same people. And we just got talking about it. And I told her kind of like, hey, was thinking about doing this, for families like mine. And she's like, absolutely. And so long story short, it kind of took a little bit longer because that was November of 2019. And so when, the world shut down, so we waited. So in January of 21, I launched my travel agent business with her as an independent agent. And my primary focus is helping families who have accessibility or special needs travel. I learned through a lot of research and taking courses for certifications on things that 89% of families who have a special need individual do not travel because
Wow.
it's too overwhelming. They get too stressed out. They don't know where to go, how to do it, all of those things. And so I have been very much involved for, since then in helping families travel all over the world. And it's just been such a blessing to be able to do that.
Right, right. That's awesome. Until Dana told me that, I mean, it's an obvious need, and
Hmm.
I hadn't thought about it. And so
Yep.
that is all. Yeah, I hear from so many families that come here, kind of that same thing. Like, yeah, we can't, take a normal family vacation. We can't go to these places because of the stress and anxiety and all the
Mhm.
planning. That's why they love coming to camp because they can come here and they fit right in and nobody, it's not a hassle. And
Right. Absolutely.
that's awesome that you're doing. I told Dana, I was like, this would be a great second podcast. Interesting. So if you're interested, I'd love to have you back sometime and go into more depth about that.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely. I love to help families to just be able to do all the things.
and same thing. We would be happy to put you in touch with a whole new group of families
Yeah.
uh, that I know are in that same situation. So it's not just for people who have a child with Down syndrome. This is for people with a variety of challenges and disabilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, multi-generational families, so the grandparents want to travel too, but they may need assistance as well. So yeah. So I work with all accessibility travel.
That is awesome. Well, great. Well, Trish, thank you so much for talking to us today. And it was great to learn a little bit more about your organization, the Down Syndrome River Region, as well as your travel agency thing too. And like I said, maybe we can follow up with some more stuff about that. Very much looking forward to meeting you in person and meeting Joseph and the rest of your family. And you guys are welcome anytime if y'all ever want to come take a tour and see camp this
Okay,
summer.
perfect.
Yeah, we'd love to have
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Well, great. Well, like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your day, but I do very much appreciate your time.
Yeah. It's my pleasure. Anytime.
You take care.
Thank you.
What's happening at ASCA? This is the part of the show where we are going to talk about everything that's happening right here at Camp ASCA.
Hey, everybody. This is Dana Rickman here, Director of Development at Camp ASCA. And I'm here to provide you with a quick ASCA update. ASCA Summer Camp Sessions we are in the middle of our ASCA Summer Camp Sessions, and everything's going great. We welcome an average of 65 to 70 campers with disabilities each week, and our counselors and program staff look forward to meeting them each Sunday and are very sad to see them go each Friday. Summer camp is what we look forward to most each year, and on behalf of our staff and volunteers, thank you to those who make it possible. We have a lot of individual organizations and foundations friends out there. Y'all be sure to follow us on our website, our app, and especially our social media pages. There's a lot going on at camp, and we update those areas daily. Concerning our building projects, we are still looking forward to the first 2 cabins at Frith Landing, otherwise known as the Parent Campground. Those should be complete by late summer, and the new pickleball court area, we're working on some finishing touches, and we'll continue to develop the surrounding area for lawn games and a new restroom pavilion. And finally, if you get the chance to visit us, let us know, and we'll be sure to show you around the new Collier Nature Center and the rest of camp. I hope y'all are having a great summer too, and get in contact with us if you have any questions or, again, if you'd like to visit. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Camp ASCA, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to you joining us next time. As always, be sure to follow us on social media at Camp ASCA and visit our website, campasca.org, for more information about camp.